The orchard finally got cut yesterday. And as you can see from the lack of things with leaves on it, it is not doing very well at all. So I'll give you guys a little bit of tour, show you what's doing well, what's doing not, and then what our plan is. So this is a peach. It does have a growth right here, but I believe that is below the graft. So that is what's growing is actually not peach. It's whatever the graft is. This peach tree is doing fairly well. You can see some leaves on it. This is another case where I believe this is below the graft line as well. So it's probably whatever the rootstock is and not the graft, which makes this one dead. Surprisingly, something that is doing really well are the fig trees. These they have grass on them from yesterday, but these are actually doing pretty well. You can see, yeah, we have this tall one is dead, but it put out a lot of new growth here, which is awesome. Let's go this way. This one here has growth on it as well. And so does this one over here. Now that they are like uncovered, hopefully we can get them fertilized some more and get some more growth. So this section here has seen the most death. This was apple trees. It was 9 apple trees, and I have 1 that has lived. It's the one in the far back corner. And yes, it is alive. It has leaves on it, but it looks horrible. Absolutely horrible. So that means we lost 8 apple trees. So here's this one, and you can just see it's just not, it does not have a lot of leaves. The one that's supposed to be right here is completely gone. Yeah, they look horrible. So we are in the market for 8 new apple trees. I want 2 from the orchard across the street. I want to find 2 Honeycrisp, and then I am still open for the other ones. So we'll figure that out. Apples didn't do well, but the pears did amazing. So I have 1, 2, there's one over there in the corner, 3, 4, 5, 6 pear trees, and they did great. They are all still living. They did great. 2 nectarines, they did good as well. The plums, I have 1 plum, the one where Garrett is standing. That one has like 4 or 5 leaves on it, but this plum is no more. And our 2 cherry trees at the entrance, they did fairly well as well. So lots of death, lots of things that need to be addressed. We are not sure why they died. My guess would be the drought that we had in June and the deer pressure that this garden suffered in May. So those are my 2 guesses. So the plan, I have 2 more apple trees that I just hadn't planted yet. So we're gonna plant those in this garden. And then I told you my wish list of all the other plants that we want. So we'll do that. And then I also have some nitrogen fixers that we had planned on putting in this garden. So I'm gonna start planting those as well, because they need to get out of the pots. Our goal for September is to get this orchard planted and in the ground, and then also work on the pollinator garden and get that established before winter, because that's all perennial stuff. So today I'm gonna plant those 2 apple trees. I think Garrett said he's gonna help me. And we'll plant the 2 nitrogen fixers. I'll tell you more about the nitrogen fixers when we get to that point. So let's talk nitrogen fixers for just a minute. So the nitrogen fixers we're planting are redbuds and mimosas. And I know I'm gonna get the, oh my gosh, don't plant mimosas, they're so invasive, they're so horrible. Yes, fine, but our plan for these is to let them grow, chop them, drop, and use them as fertilizer. So anytime you chop a nitrogen fixer, it then releases nitrogen back into the soil, which is then fertilizing. I have a whole article on it on our website if you want to know more. I'll leave a link below for you on that. But that is why we are putting nitrogen fixer plants, redbuds and mimosas, in our orchard to help. It's a natural fertilizer for our trees. And I have to say, I love them in the spring. All of the flowers are a favorite of honeybees, and bees will probably be the first thing we get on our homestead. So I would love a jump start on having flowers and nectar for them in the spring. So we just planted our mimosa. Now we're gonna do our redbud, and I'm kind of spacing them out right now because I don't have enough for the entire orchard, but that's fine. It's also a test to see if Jamie can get the zero turn around them and how difficult this is gonna become to mow, because I don't want it to be difficult. And if it is, then we'll probably cut back on the number of nitrogen fixers we're gonna use so that it's not a chore that takes like 3 days. So let's go ahead and plant the redbud. All right, I'm gonna give these fruit trees a little bit of a boost. We love Dr. Earth's organic fertilizers. This one is the fruit tree fertilizer, link below for you. But we've had great success with this, and yeah, we really like it. So I think I'm gonna give any tree that is still living in here a little bit of a boost with this. It is a granular, so it will release over time. And then the trees that we just planted, I'm gonna give them some water as well. So this over here, right behind where Garrett just put the Gorilla cart, is the back corner of the berry orchard. And as you can see, it is just, it has a lot of like weed in it, but if you come in here, there's a lot of like wood too. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna get all this weed out, get the wood out, and then I'm gonna trim this tree here, and this tree is actually gonna be one of the poles for the orchard. So Garrett and I are gonna work on this and getting this cleaned up, and then we'll be ready to plant more of the berry bushes that we have, which is kind of awesome.